Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everybody, how are you today? Okay, I am fine and thank you. Now, who absent today? No absent. Okay, thank you. Before we start our lesson today, let's pray together. And Kiki, please lead the prayer. Okay, thank you, Kiki. Okay, everybody. Now I want to ask you about the material in the last meeting or in the last week. Did you remember the material in the last meeting or in the last week? Kiki, did you remember? Okay, good, you are remember. How about you, Devi? Did you remember? Okay, Devi, good. Okay, what is the material? Okay, good. The material about the cause and effect. Good, everybody, good. And then the next is in the last meeting we learned about the cause effect related to offering and giving information. Okay, did you remember the language feature related to cause and effect? Okay, please answer the question. Okay, good. The language feature of related to cause and effect, they are because of, good, and then thanks to, good, and then due to. Okay, good, everybody. You are still remember that, and give applause for you all. Okay. Okay, everybody. Today we will learn about the text which is explain why or how things happen. But before I explain this material, I want to show you a picture. Okay, everybody, this is the picture. There are two questions for you, and then the first is, what effect did earthquake have on you? Okay, Rico, please answer. Okay, thank you, Rico. From the Rico, the earthquake can give the traumatic or feel scared. Okay, good. And then any else? Okay, Indah, thank you. From the Indah, the earthquake can crack or destroy of the buildings. Okay, good. Thank you, Indah and Rico. And then the next is from what kind of text is it? What kind of text is it? Apa jenis teks? Oh, narrative, descriptive, report text. Are you sure? No. Another answer? Okay, good. The text is explanation. So today we will learn about the explanation text. Okay. The next. This is the objective of this learning. There are four. The first is the student can identify the purpose of explanation text, and then the second is student can identify the structure of explanation text, and then the third is the student can identify the language features of explanation text, and then the last is this the student can make a short explanation text. So the objective is the student can identify the purpose, the structure, and the language feature, and the last is student can make a short text of explanation. Okay. The next is, what is an explanation text? Please, Devi, read the PowerPoint. Okay, thank you, Dewi. So explanation is a non-fiction text that is used to describe how or why things happen. It is usually a text that aim to explain a process, for example, rainbow, and how glass is recycled. Okay, there are questions in above. Okay, can you think of any other topic you could choose for an explanation text? Okay, Kiki, what is the topic? Have you idea? Okay, good. Rhyme. And then, any else? Rico? Okay, good. Flute. Any else? Okay, good. Global warming. Any else? Okay, enough. Okay, the next is the purpose of explanation text. So, please read Chandra. Okay, thank you, Chandra. In here, of explanation text is to say or describe or explain why and how of the forming of the phenomena. It is often found in science, geography, history textbooks. So this is the explain the process that occur in the formation of something or activities related to natural science, geography, phenomena, cultural, that I have to explain why and how it can happen. Okay, the next is the generic structure of explanation text. Okay, please read Helena. Okay, thank you, Helena. So in generic structure of explanation text, there are three. The first is general statement, and then the second is the sequenced explanation, and then the third is closing. So the first is general statement, is stating the phenomenon issue which are to be explained. General statement, namely the introduction of an event that we will tell, and then or a general explanation of the event. It can be introduction to the phenomenon or explanation. And then the second is the sequenced explanation, is stating a series of steps which explain the phenomenon. And then usually the writer can write more than one paragraph. A sequence of explanations contains an explanation of the process, why and how the phenomenon can occur or be created or be happen. Okay, and then the next is closing. So in closing, is sum up the explanation and talks about its application. Usually the writer writes one paragraph to close any paragraph. The next is the language features of explanation text. Okay, please read Nikan. Okay, thank you, Nikan. So in the language feature of explanation text, there are 5. The first is using simple present tense, and then the second is using chronological connection or connection, and then the third is using passive voice, and then the fourth is using action verbs, and then the last is using technical terms. Okay, this text uses simple present tense because this text explain facts. And then the second is using chronological connection. Usually the writer want to connect about cause and effect, and then usually the writer in consequence explanation. And then for example of chronological connection is next, So they refer since, when, and then consequently, and any else. Okay, the next is using passive voice. Okay, passive voice is a form of sentence in which the subject of the sentence receives actions, not taking actions, unlike active voice that focuses on the party doing the action. This form is more focused on the party or subject, uh, on focused on party the object that receives the result of an actions, or as a receiver of action. Okay, the passive voice in here, the use passive voice aims to emphasize the focus on events that take place rather than the subject. Okay, in here usually use verb 3 and then to be plus verb 3. To be in here can is MR or whisper, and then after that write the verb 3. Okay, are you understand? Okay, good. The next is using action verb. In here used to describe actions that take place, for example make, create, do, and any else. And then the next is using technical terms. The technical terms refer the technical terms related to the topics related to the topic discussed in this text. Okay, which is the content, an explanation of the process. Okay, are you understand about it? Okay, good. Okay, the next is, this is a example of text explanation, or example the explanation text. I want to ask you to read the text 3 minutes. After that we analyze the from the structure and then from the language features. Okay, so I want to give you the time to read 3 minutes. Okay, okay, enough. The time is finished. So the first is the structure of the text. The text is title tsunami. Okay, the first is text structure is general statement. General statement of this text is paragraph 1. Okay, good. And then the sequence explanation of this text is paragraph on the paragraph 2. Okay, good. And then the last is closing. So the closing in here on paragraph 3. Good. Thank you, everybody. And then the next is we identify the language features of the explanation text. Okay, the first is using passive voice. So you must to see which is used to verb 3 with the to be. For example, to be plus verb 3. And then so in text we can see that passive voice, it is a tsunami will be generated when the sea floor. Okay, good. Any else? No. Any else? Yes. The last paragraph. The damage is caused by the hook mass of water. Okay, this is the passive voice. Use the to be and verb 3. Okay, the next is use the simple present tense. uh, Place your hands. Place your hand. Okay, good. Thank you, Rico. So, simple present tense is can be seen of the paragraph 1. The term of tsunami comes used as so this is identify the simple present tense. Okay, good. And then the next is using actions verb. In the text is action verbs. Okay, move. And then any else? Okay, movements. Okay, good. And then the last is connection. So in text use connection is when. Okay, good. And then any else? No? Enough? And okay, good. Any else? Okay, good. So the next is the okay, enough. Technical terms. So in here use wave, gravity, equilibrium. Okay, thank you. So do you understand about the purpose, the language features, and then the last is the generic structure. So now I want to give you assessment. This is a knowledge assessment, and then this is a text. You must to read the text. I will give you 5 minutes to read the text. After that, you must to identify the language features and the generic structure of this text from this text. Okay, so you write the paper and give your names, and after that you collect with me. Okay, so you read, you do the assessment. I give you 10 minutes to do this assessment. Okay, enough. Okay, so the time is finished, and then you must to collect your paper in me. Okay, thank you. So before I close this section, I want to ask you about this learning. Okay, what do you learn today? Apa yang kamu dapatkan? Apa yang kamu pelajari hari ini? Okay, good. You learn about the explanation text. Okay, what did you get learning today? Apa yang kamu dapatkan? Okay, you can identify the purpose, the structure, and then the language features of the explanation text. Okay, good. Okay, the last is I want to give you homework to make explanation text with and then you must choose one of the topic given below. The topic are rainbow, flood, life cycle of animals, any animal, and then the last is global warming. Sorry. So you must to choose one topic and you write explanation text, and then you write in the paper. After that, you read your text which record, and then the assessment is to writing assessment and speaking assessment, and then this assessment collect send my email. Okay, are you understand? Okay, I want to repeat. In here I give you assessment, two assessment. The first is writing assessment, and then the second is speaking assessment. Of the writing assessment, you must to write the explanation text, which you choose one topic. The topic is rainbow, flood, life cycles of any animal, and global warming, and you must choose one topic. And then you write the text. After that, you must record, or you read your text. After that, this assessment, those tasks, you send my email. Okay, are you understand about it? Okay, this is the last meeting. Thank you everybody, and thank you your participation. See you next time. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.